Hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. I did a video yesterday about comparing my little mini Plexi to a Boss Katana. And one of the comments said, one is a one-trick pony, meaning the Plexi, and one is a really versatile amp. Now, personally, I don't think the Plexi is a one-trick pony, and I'm going to explain that today. But I also want to explain why it's not a one-trick pony, especially when you're using it with a twin volume guitar. Now, guitars like a Les Paul and this PRS DGT have two volume controls, one for each set of pickups. Now, personally, I use volume controls all the time and I never use tone controls. Most guitars nowadays, and I am generalizing here, come with treble bleeds. Now, what that means is when I turn down my pickup, I'm turning down the neck pickup here, it still retains all of the top end, all the treble. The way that traditional guitars were wired up before treble bleeds were invented, when you turn down the volume, the treble would decrease as well. And this is why a one-channel amp with a two-volume guitar with a treble bleed, as most do, is such a versatile combination, because you can literally run one of the pickups as your clean pickup and the other pickup as your distorted pickup. The bridge on a Les Paul sounds like this. I'm plugging this Les Paul straight into the front of the Plexi. There's no overdrives or compression going on. This is just the sound of the Plexi. I've got a bit of reverb and delay on, but there's nothing going into the front of the amp. Now, if I go to the neck pickup, now, the way that I've got the amp set up, and because these are humbuckers, it's still a great sound, but it's got that sort of low-mid presence to it that sort of lacks a bit of clarity. And now that's because it's closer to the neck, it's not as close to the bridge. So you don't get the definition that you get from the bridge pickup. So the way that I use a one-channel amp, something like this Plexi, is just to turn down the volume control to about 4 on the Les Paul on the neck pickup, and we get these great sort of clean sounds. So if I was going out live with a one-channel amp, this is the sort of guitar that I would take with me, because I don't have to have any pedals on the floor. I can get all my clean sounds and then all my drive sounds just by switching down the pickup. Now, if I pick up the PRS DGT, for me, the PRS DGT is the ultimate guitar because it can do almost anything. It sounds like a Strat, it can sound like a Les Paul, it can sound like a Telecaster. If I use the bridge position on the DGT, now if I go to the neck position, it does have more clarity than a Les Paul, but also if I roll back the volume on this to about the same, say about 4, because of the pickups they put in here, these DGT pickups, they're much brighter and they've got a lot more clarity than, say, like a Les Paul. One of the other great things about the DGT is that you can pull up the tone control and turn everything into single coils. And you don't get any volume loss. If I wind it back a little bit more, I can get my clean sound, which is a really Strat neck sort of sound. I can then move it down to the center position. and I can get my rhythm sound. And then if I want even more gain, I switch it down to the bridge. And with the bridge position pickup, when it's cold tapped, it sounds like a telly. And just to demonstrate that, if I pick up my telly, ever since owning the DGT, this has really become my go-to guitar for any time that I'm ever doing any recording because it's so versatile. I just wanted to explain that the Plexi is definitely not a one-trick pony, especially if you're using a guitar with 2 volume controls. Anyway, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. I really hope you guys got something out of this. If you did get something out of it, perhaps you consider liking and subscribing, clicking on the bell button, and you'll be notified of any future video that comes out from the Studio Rats. I'm Paul, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.